Okay, in this lesson, we're going to go over a type of proportional relationship called percent. And specifically within percent, I'm going to show you how to calculate sales tax and gratuities. These two are examples that are real life examples that if you haven't already encountered them, you will encounter them fairly soon. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the first problem. So let's suppose that you are in the market to buy a new iPhone, okay, and you are interested in purchasing an iPhone 12 Pro Max. Okay, this is the highest end Apple iPhone product that is available today. And you want to go all the way and get the 512 gigabyte phone. Now that phone costs $1,399. Okay. In Baldwin Park, the sales tax for that iPhone is 9.5%. So we need to calculate what is the total cost of the new iPhone, including the sales tax. So there are two ways to calculate this, and I will show you the first way. And that is, we're going to find out what the sales tax amount is for this phone. And to do that, we take $1,399 and we're going to multiply that by 9.5%. And I'm going to set that to T for tax. Okay. And you'll notice that I changed the 9.5% to 0.095. Okay. So we changed a percent to a decimal. And when you change a percent to a decimal, you need to move the decimal place over to the left 2 spaces. Okay. And here's what I mean. I'm going to write this off to the side. If we have 9.5%, to change it to a decimal, we need to move the decimal over 2 spaces. 1, 2. So we're going to put a decimal there. And we need to have a placeholder. Okay. And we get 0.095. Or 0.095. Okay, so if we were to calculate this, we'd find that the tax amount is going to be $132.91. So that 9.5% goes to the federal government. It also goes to the state and city. And that's what comes up with 9.5%. That was a little bit of background information, but just so you know where the taxes go. Okay, so now we need to take the cost of the iPhone, which is $1,399, and we need to add $132.91, and we get our total to be $1,531.91. So as you can see, even though the phone is advertised for almost $1,400, by the time tax is incorporated into the total, it's well over $1,500. So a fairly expensive phone. Okay, so this ends up being a 2-step process, right? So this part here is step number 1. We calculate the tax amount. Then, step number 2, we take the tax amount and add it to the price of the phone to get our total. Okay? The second way to calculate this is really a one-step process. And here's how to do it. So, to get our total cost, we're going to call it capital T for total cost, and that is going to equal $1,399, and we're still going to multiply, but this time we're going to multiply by 1.095. Okay? The reason it's 1.095 is that 1 to the left of the decimal represents 100%. So you're going to take 100% of the price of the phone plus a 9.5%, okay, which is our tax rate. So that 1.095 represents 109.5% of the price of the iPhone. And that will give us the total of $1,531.91. Okay, so as you can see, the amount is the same, and this is a one-step process. Now that you understand how to apply sales tax, you could do this for anything that you purchase at the store. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a different example, and we're going to talk about gratuities. So as I mentioned before, gratuities is the same thing as giving somebody a tip. Okay, tip for service, tip for a meal that you pay for at a restaurant. Anything to do with tip has the same concept as finding the percent of something. So let me give you an example. Okay, so you're feeling incredibly generous because you came about a significant amount of money and you decide to treat your family to a nice dinner at a very nice steakhouse called Morton's. After the meal, you get a bill, including tax, that comes out to a total of $250. Because the service you received from the waitress was excellent, you decide to be generous and tip her 20%. How much money will you end up paying in total for the evening? Okay? So, again, there are two ways to calculate this. The first way is a two-step process, similar to what you saw in the previous problem. So we're going to solve for our our tip this time. Okay? And our T for tip is going to equal the $250 times 20%, so 0.20. Okay? That amount is then $50. So then, to calculate our total, T, we're going to go with capital T. It's going to equal the cost of the meal, which includes tax already, plus our tip amount. And that's going to give us a total of $300. Okay? A very expensive meal. So again, this is a two-step process. Step number 1, calculating the tip amount. And then step number 2, adding that to the total bill. So the second method is a one-step process, and I'll show you how to do that. So similar to the previous example on sales tax, we're going to find the total amount, capital T, is equal to $250. This time we're going to multiply by 1.20. Okay, so it's the 100% plus the 20%, which gives us the 120%. And we convert that into a decimal, and that's 1.2. Okay, once you multiply this out, this will come out to $300. So hopefully you'll recognize that in either scenario, whether it's sales tax or gratuities, the process for calculating the total amount is exactly the same. If any of this was confusing, please go back to the beginning of the video and listen to it again. Thank you.